What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. Today we are gonna take a look at Caine from John Wick 4, and you can order this figure at bigbadtoystore.com. I'll put the link down below. Let's start off with the packaging. It looks beautiful. I love this. I mean, it gives me a great Gatsby vibe, but the world of John Wick is so, just sophisticated. It has cathedral and just class, and that's kind of what this illuminates. It has some gold foil in it, of course, the lettering and all that stuff. So let's unbox this guy. Normally I don't remove the sleeve because it really is pointless, but I just want to show you the packaging. Like I said, I like it. I dig the gold vibes in it. I'll just remove this, and at the back it says the high table. You see those wheel guns in the back. I'll put it back because this is a box. I'm not planning to display this whatsoever. But this Caine comes with a lot of accessories, a lot of hands, 3 guns. Well, 4 if you count the wheel gun. He got the samurai sword, axe, his cane that becomes a sword, which you can split into 2. He comes with those coins that he does have. I believe they are motion sensor doorbell kind of thing. But yeah, let's take a look at this samurai, or I guess sword, if you will. This is not made out of die-cast. This is made out of plastic. So for those who are die-cast enthusiasts, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but they are not. Even the axe, this one, I wasn't expecting that to be die-cast, but it's made out of plastic. He got an assortment of handguns here, different types. I don't know, if you are familiar with these guns, let me know in the comments. And then you got the, I believe, doorbells? Motion sensors, is that what they are? Because, he's blind. So in one of the scenes when he was in the continental Japan, I think he placed it strategically so people would trip it or trigger that, so that he would know their location. You got the glasses, which is removable for those who, if you haven't seen any reviews of this yet. Initially, he wasn't shown on the prototype pictures without the, if you go to Big Bad's website right now, he's always shown with his glasses on, and rightfully so. He, majority of the film he has that on, and most likely it'll be on in your collection for a long time, but you could remove it. And it does come with this. I love this base at all. This beautiful base. I actually could not place this. Normally I would put it on the table and just stab this crotch grabber in there. This is a different kind of crotch grabber though. It's kind of long, it's not the one that I'm used to, but it's nice. The design, I like the design, but we're gonna take a look more into that later on. And then there's the wheel gun there, and then a bunch of coins, so 3 stacks of coins and individual ones. But let's take a closer look at the accessories. He comes with a huge array of hands. You got the trigger finger hands there. You got the hands that could hold a stack of coins, or the doorbell motion sensor thing. I just want you to get a closer look, because like I said, you don't have a shortage of hands here. So this is one of those things where he could be holding the cane, but it's kind of deep as well, so you could have him hold the doorbell things. And then there's, of course, when you got guns involved, and then you can have him hold the axe. You could use this hand, or you could use the normal closed kind of fist in hands, but with like a hole on it. You could do a lot of things in here, and then some expressive hands that I'm not used to seeing, honestly, but they're all there. And then different types of handguns. So let's start with a gun that they used. On the description it says wheel gun. Nicely detailed here. One of those old school guns with the like a wooden handle. You can't remove the bullet. You can move it out there. The hammer doesn't work. It's made out of completely plastic, but it looks, you can see there's a bullet inside, because they only shoot once, and then they gotta put the bullet again in the chamber. And then you have, I don't know what this is. JS13, okay. Textured grip. It even has a laser sight at the bottom, which he would not use because he's blind. Yeah, so it's no use of him, but it's there. It just makes the gun heavy. I think it's a combo. You can have a flashlight there too, and then another gun right here. When it focuses, there you go. This doesn't have anything at the bottom rail, but it looks nice. You know, is there a brand on this gun? I don't know, but it's hard to say. It's hard to focus because it's really small right here. Textured grip as well. You could remove this magazine. There you go. You can see there's a bullet inside, and then the slide is also, you could also move this up and down. So I like it that when it stays in this kind of position, because it looks like maybe he ran out of bullets, you know, and you can put it like he's just firing in that firing position. It looks really nice. And another gun right here with like a longer magazine. What does it say there? I can't see. There you go. I don't know. It's like a training gun whatsoever. There you go. He doesn't have any rifles or a shotgun. I don't think he even used that in the movie. And he does have this axe that is made out of plastic. I think he only used this in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's been a while since I've seen the movie. And this is his sword. Sword Caine. Now at the edge, I don't know if you can see it. There is, so this is the handle. So technically this is the handle of his cane, and it's a different color in the edge. And this is the cane itself. So I put the other hand in there, which you could have him hold the bottom of the cane, which is technically the sheath to his sword, and you could remove this. It's just friction based. You could take it out, and then you will have this. You know, this is the end of the cane. It would have been really nice if you could actually sheath the actual cane in there, you know, like this. But I get it. I get why they did what they did. And then you do have this doorbell motion sensor thing. They just stick in the movie. I think he put it on the table or something, and it sticks and it makes a sound, and then he shoot there. And these are the coins. So you get 3 stacks. If you have the the John Wick Part 2, you can have a bunch of coins there. And then this is just the glasses. You got to be careful with this. As you can see, there's fingerprints already on the glass. I don't know why, because I never touched the actual glass, but it's in there. And then you have the base that has a really intricate design. I like it. And you see Caine John Wick Chapter 4. Let's go into the tailoring of this figure. Pretty simple figure. It's you see the relaxed hands there. It's initially I wasn't a fan of the suit. The suit that they used, the fabric, this looks like an ordinary suit, but when you hold it, it feels like one of those jackets, the light ones. I don't know if you've ever owned one, where it's water repellent. That's how it feels like. If you have John Wick 2, that is cotton, you know, or regular fabric. This is not one of those. This feels like a fabric that nylon, maybe with the right word. I like the fact that that's actual buttons instead of those sticky buttons that they have. Now he does have this nice half boot kind of thing. He does have socks though, which is pretty impressive. But yeah, the suit material itself, it feels like those nylon jackets where if a water comes into it, you can just, it doesn't stay. It kind of beads. From the touch, it's not that impressive, but once you start posing the figure, that's where you're going to appreciate it, because it doesn't bunch up as much, or it doesn't pull and tug. Because it's really thin, it has some leeway to it compared to if you have John Wick 2 and you try posing that guy around. Technically you could, but because I don't know if it's because of the fabric or how many layers of clothing he does have, it feels like it's tugging and pulling. That is the difference between this and John Wick 2. It may not be as cool when you touch it, but it's there. But it's more practical. He doesn't have belt. He's blind, so he doesn't need belt. I don't know where that came from, but this is the head sculpt for Donnie Yen, and this is Caine. I think they nailed the likeness. Maybe the face is a little chunkier, or has a little more cheeks compared to what I just saw. I just showed you, but it's not a big deal. Very minor difference. I would take it. Might be just the angle itself, or the distortion of the lens. So take it as you will, but I think they captured the likeness really, really well. The hair, it's sculpted. No rolling eyeball system. Yeah, I know it's disappointing for a blind man, but it's not there. But the hair sculpt, I think it works. The seamless neck works as well, because it looks more realistic. Especially he does have this turtleneck. I guess you could get away with split joint between the neck and the head sculpt, but I'd rather really have this. And then with the glasses on, it looks great. It looks fantastic. It might have lost some detail, maybe from the prototype to here. There's not a whole lot of pores. There's not a whole lot of details. But Donnie Yen looks really good for his age. Like, he does not have those, wrinkles and age mark as much as, other people. So can't really say anything about that. I mean, the guy's just genetically good. And then let me show you his eyes. Nicely painted. You got some scars in there. I still want to know the origin of Caine, just because it's fascinating to me. He got his daughter that he's trying to protect. I'm guessing he wasn't blind before. I don't know if they're gonna explore that on the next movie, but for now, this is the Caine that we have from Hot Toys, and it is pretty darn good. Now let's jump into articulation. This one looks good. Because it's a regular body, so you can put the neck up and down. It's just one piece of neck. The suit itself, I said earlier, it has a lot of give to it. Plus, the underlying clothing is pretty flexible with his turtleneck. So you're not gonna have the same pulling and tugging as John Wick does. I don't know if it's because of just the suit itself, or I would attribute it as well for the underlying clothes, because it's pretty much what he does have. It's just this cotton, maybe cashmere sweater underneath. It's clicking too, like this. It's ratcheted legs. His knees can bend pretty nice as well. You know what? I would say that because he does have a lot of give in his pants as well. So that nylon fabric, or whatever you call that, does help. Now his shoes, it says on the manual how you could move it. It's a different kind of joint, so it is nice as well. Let's put him in some poses. And here he is. He's sitting right there in the front too. This is the cathedral where I think him and John Wick met. I should have edited him out, but I was lazy. But there you go. This is one of his poses when he was with a guy who killed, I don't know, the father from John Wick's family or clan where he joined. So I just kind of stole this pose, and look at him. He's holding the cane with his regular hand, the open palm hands. The cane is kind of short, but it's accurate to the movie, because I found some stills and it only goes up there. This is technically a background from John Wick 2, but I thought it was really cool, so I put him in there, and John Wick running at the back. And as you can see, his suit does have wires towards the edge of it. So yes, it doesn't do a whole lot, but it's enough that you could kind of simulate him. He just kind of turned around and the suit kind of flew in the air, so it has some, you can simulate some motion because of that. And here he is. This is a scene from John Wick 4, where he is. This is in Japan, continental Japan, and I'm using my old John. Well, I say old, but John Wick from Hot Toys. It's heavily modified though. He does have that Crow Customs belt, and then he does have the Max Nut head sculpt, which I love the two head sculpt that he comes with. But I can't wait for John Wick 4 as well. I want to have that rolling eyeball system John Wick. I'm excited for that. But I love this John Wick. So they're both going to stay, even if I do get the newer John Wick. And here he is at the final duel. You know, I have him with in the cathedral, I suppose. I don't know what that is. But yeah, him and Caine through the sunset. John Wick already bleeding. You know, looks pretty good. Hey man, they complement each other really well. And I want to imagine that it would even be better once we have John Wick 4 in hand. I'm not surprised. So final thoughts on this guy. I'm not surprised that he's still available out there. It's not the most sexy figure out there. It doesn't have the rolling eyeball system, but he's fairly priced as well. But if you are a John Wick fan, I would say do yourself a favor and pick him up. Because once you might not even have the John Wick 2, but if you're a John Wick fan, I'm assuming you're picking up John Wick, the newer one. So have him. There's only so much you can put with John Wick. This is a fantastic companion to him. Now you can buy a bunch of guys in suit or a bunch of guys in, I don't know, military clothing and whatnot, so you can have John Wick fight them. But what better figure to complement your upcoming John Wick or your previous John Wick than Caine? I mean, how many more times are we gonna see this? If he doesn't sell well this iteration, and it looks like he's not, because how many times do we see a figure hit in stock realistically these days? You know, it's very few. You got Catwoman, and I believe him and Thor. Other than that, they always go straight to waitlist. So if he doesn't sell well, there's no guarantee that they're going to make another Caine if he even comes up in chapter 5 and 6. I think he will. But we shall see. But as of now, I highly recommend this. Pick this up. He's a fun figure, especially if you are, I would say you are going to pick up John Wick. If you are going to pick up John Wick, do yourself a favor. Give him a complimentary piece and have him in your display stand next to Caine. But thank you for watching. Hopefully you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video.